Hey everyone, this is Shirley and this is Resolution of the Heart. I hope you can hear me. I will try to read louder. This is another reading. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. And if not, try to have a wonderful evening. And thank you for coming back. My older subscribers are my original. Um, and any new persons that come by, that's at any time, today or any other time, thank you for stopping by. I hope you do subscribe, leave a comment, and like, thumbs up. And my other subscribers, please do that too. Yeah, I appreciate it. I know I always say this channel is really small and it's a unique channel because it's in the making. But while it's in the making, which basically means I'm in the making along with it, we're going to read the Krishna book. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a very productive week, not weekend, a very productive week, and I'm glad that things are turning out okay. You know, of course, there's always going to be little bumps in the road in anything that we do. So that's why we take the time to learn more about God, His ways, so He can strengthen us to overcome or not, these things and not let it set us back. Because I almost had a setback. But I didn't, you know. So we are on chapter 5, which is let's see, steering toward the supreme. You ready, you guys? Okay, bear with me. Okay, pay attention, and I will try to do my best. That's all I can do. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous. Yeah, that's it. Magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me. So I think we should go back because that would probably give us a little reminder about why he is saying this. Let's see. Okay, remember the wise man is Jana, Jnani, Jana. The wise man actually understands the science of God. One who only understands one who only understands that God is good is in a preliminary stage, but one who actually understands how great and good God is further progress. That knowledge is to be had in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. One who is actually interested in God should study the science of God. Bhagavad Gita. So that's a little bit going there. My dear Arjun, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you the most secret wisdom, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. So we do know that we have these miseries going on. You know, no one is immune from it. No one is immune for it. And while we're on the subject of that, I just want to give a shout out to Bluebird, her cat, her lovely cat that she has had for a very long time. Looking like that she may be ready to expire, but I do want to encourage her and let her and know that she had a blessed life with her, and it's not over. It's not over. Just because we think God knows the animals too, okay? So have hope in that, They have another life to live. And, and we won't go into that. That'll be way too much. But anyway, just realize that's a living soul, just like we have a soul. And the only difference between that soul and our soul is that we're more conscious and able to make decisions where, they are more instinct. But they do have love and affection for their owners. And I know yours did. So I just send you peace of mind, peace of heart, knowing that you had a wonderful cat with you. So let me get back to what we were saying. So none of us are immune to what comes at us in life. You know, it can be anything. It can be something very small. It can be something very large. And each one of us, have our we have to deal with it. You know, we have to take care of it and overcome it. And by reading these books from Prabhupada, it gives, and also having it's just not the books, but also reading the books and having a representative from the disciplic succession of Prabhupada, you know, to help you along, to guide you, you know, is what will make you overcome a lot of the things that's going on in life. So let me see. So let's see if we can go back to these. Chapter 5. Let me see the clock. Okay. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider verily to dwell in me. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he attains me. Hare Krishna is saying that, oh, I'm sorry. See my eyes. I gotta go get these glasses. Here, Krishna is saying that all the men who come to him, whether they be distressed, in need of money, curious, etc., are all welcomed. But out of them, the person who is in knowledge is very dear to him. The others are welcome because it is understood that in course of time, if they continue on the path of God, they will become as good as the man of knowledge. Generally, however, it so happens that when one goes to church for profit and the money doesn't come, he concludes that approaching God is nonsense, and he gives up he gives up all connections with the church. That's true too. That is the danger of approaching God with ulterior motives. For instance, during World War II, it was reported that many wives of the German soldiers went to church to pray for their husband's safe return. But when they found they had been killed in battle, they became atheists. Excuse me, my throat. Thus, we want God to become our order supplier. And when he does not supply our order, we say that there is no God. That is the effect of praying for material things. In this connection, there is a story of a little boy about 5 years old named Druva, who belonged to a royal family. In the course of time, his father, the king, tired of his mother and disposed her as his queen. He then took up another woman as queen, and she became stepmother to the boy. Do we know them stepmothers? No, I shouldn't say that. Oh my goodness. She was very envious of him, and one day Druva was sitting on the father's knee. She insulted him. Oh, you cannot sit on the lap of your father, she said, because you are not born of me. She dragged Druva from his father's lap, and the boy became very angry. He was the son of Acacia, and Acacia are notorious for their quick tempers. Druva took this to be a great insult, and he went to his mother, who had been disposed. Dear mother, he said, my stepmother has insulted me by dragging me from my father's lap. Dear son, the mother replied, what can I do? I am helpless, and your father no longer cares for me. Well, how can I take revenge? The boy asked. My dear boy, you are helpless. Only if God helps you, only if God helps you, can you take revenge. Oh, where is God? Druva asked enthusiastically. I understand so many sages go to the jungle and the forest to see God. The mother replied, they undergo great penance and austerities in order to find God there. At once Druva went to the forest and began asking the tiger and the elephant, oh, are you God? Are you God? In this way, he was questioning all the animals, seeing that Druva was very much inquisitive of Sri Krishna. Sent Sri Sri Krishna sent Narada, I'm gonna say Narada, Muni to see about the situation. Narada quickly went to the forest and found Druva. My dear boy, Narada said, you belong to the royal family. You cannot suffer all these penances and austerities. Please return to your home. Your mother and father are very much anxious for you. Please don't try to divert me in that way, the boy said. At 5 years old, he was very intelligent. Well, of course he was. His father was a king. If you know something about God, or if you know how I gotta check that out, how I can see God, please tell me. Otherwise, go away and don't disturb me. When Narada saw that Druva was so determined, he initiated him as a disciple and gave him the mantra Om. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Druva chanted this mantra and became perfect, and God came before him. My dear Druva, what do you want? You can take from me whatever you want. My dear Lord, the boy replied, I was undergoing such severe penance simply for my father's kingdom and land, but now I have seen you. Even the great sages and saints cannot see you. What is my profit? I left my home to find merely some scraps of glass and rubbish, and instead I have found a very valuable diamond. Now I'm satisfied. I have no need to ask anything of you. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Thus, even though one may be poverty stricken or in distress, if he goes to God with the same determination as Druva, intent on seeing God and taking his benediction, and if he happens to see God, he will no longer want anything material. He comes to understand the foolishness of material possessions, and he puts the illusion aside for the real thing. When one becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, like Druva Maharaj, he becomes fully satisfied and doesn't want anything. The jhana, the wise man, knows that material things are flickering. He also knows that there are three aspects that complicate all material gain. One wants profit from his work. One wants adoration from others because of his riches, and one wants fame because of his wealth. In any case, he knows that all these apply but to the body, and that when the body is finished, they also go. When the body dies, one is no longer a rich man, but a spirit soul, and according to his work, he has to enter another body. The Gita says that a wise man is not bewildered by this, for he knows what is what. Why then should he bother himself attaining material wealth? His attitude is, I have an eternal connection with Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Now let me establish that relationship firmly so that Krishna will take me back to his kingdom. The cosmic situation is giving us a facility to reestablish this relationship with Krishna and return to Godhead. This should be our mission in life. Everything we need is being supplied by God. land, grain, fruit, milk, shelter, and clothing. We only have to live peacefully and cultivate Krishna consciousness. That should be our mission in life. We should therefore be satisfied with what God has supplied in the form of food, shelter, defense, sex, and should not want more and more and more. The best type of civilization is one that ascribes to the maximum of plain living and high thinking. It is not possible to manufacture food or sex in a factory. These and whatever else we require are supplied by God. Our business is to take advantage of these things and become God conscious. Although God has given us all the facilities to live peacefully on this earth, cultivating Krishna consciousness and finally to come to Him, in this age we are unfortunate. Let me go back. Although God has given us all facilities to live peacefully on this earth, cultivate Krishna conscious and finally go to Him. In this age, we are unfortunate. We are short-lived, and there are so many people without food, shelter, married life, or defense from the onslaught of nature. This is due to the influence of the age of Kali. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu see the dreadful situation in this age and emphasize the absolute necessity for cultivating spiritual life. And how should we do it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the formula. Just always chant Hare Krishna. Never mind whether you are in a factory or in a hell, in a shack, or in a skyscraper. It doesn't matter. Just go on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There is no expense. There is no impediment. There is no caste. There is no creed. There is no color. Anyone can do it. Just chant and hear. Somehow or other, if one can come in contact with Krishna conscious and execute the process under the guidance of a bona fide guide, he is sure to go back to God. After many births and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is such. Such a great soul is very rare. Philosophical research into the science of God has to be prosecuted for many births. I think I said that right. Prosecuted, for many births. God realization is very easy, but at the same time, it is very difficult. It is easy for those who accept Krishna's word as truth, but those who try to understand through research work, by dint of advancement of knowledge, have to create their faith after finishing so much research work. And this process takes many births. There are different types of transcendentalists called Tatvavit, who know the absolute truth. I'm going to spell that word for you guys. Tattvavit. Tatvavit. Okay. The transcendentalists call the absolute truth that in which there is no duality. In the absolute truth, there is no duality. Everything is one. Everything is on the same level. One who knows this in truth is called a Tatvavit. Tatvavit. Let's see. Krishna proclaims that the absolute truth is known in three aspects: Brahma, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. In personal Brahman effulgence, localized supersoul, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, there are three angles from which one may envision the absolute truth. One may view a mountain from a great distance and thus perceive it from one angle of vision. I don't know if let me do this. I might be a little lost here. One may view a mountain from a great distance and thus perceive it from one angle of vision. As he comes closer, he may see the trees, the foliage of the mountain, and if he begins to climb the mountain, he will find so much variegatedness in trees, plants, animals. The objective is the same, but due to the different angles of vision, sages have different conceptions of the absolute truth. Another example, there is the sunshine, the sun disk, and the sun god. One who is in the sunshine cannot claim that he is on the sun itself, and one who is situated in the sun is, from the point of view of vision, better situated. The sunshine may be compared to be the all-pervasive Brahma, Jati, effulgence. The localized sun disk may be compared to the localized aspect of the supersoul, and the sun god who resides within the sun may be compared to the personality of Godhead. As on this earth planet we have a multivariety of living entities, we can understand from Vedic literature that the sun also there is a variety of living entities, but their bodies are made of fire, just as ours are made of earth. In the material nature there are 5 gross elements: earth, water, air, fire, and space. In different planets there are different atmospheres due to one of these 5 elements prevailing, and there are different bodies for the living entities composed of whatever element may be predominant in a particular planet. We should not think that all planets have the same quality of life, yet there is uniformity in the sense that these 5 elements are presented in some form or other. Thus, thus on some planets, Earth is prominent. Fire is prominent, water is prominent, air and space are prominent. We should not think, therefore, that just because a planet is not composed primarily of earth, or because the atmosphere does not duplicate ours, that there is no life on these planets. Vedic literature gives us information that there are countless planets filled with living entities with different types of bodies, as by making some material adjustment we may qualify to enter into different material planets. By qualification, we can enter into the spiritual planet where the Supreme Lord resides. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors. And those who worship me will live with me. Gita 9:25. Those who are trying to enter into higher planets and go there, and those who are trying to qualify to enter into Golaka Vrindavan, the planet of Krishna, can also enter there by the process of Krishna conscious. Before going to India, we may inquire a description of what the country is like. Hearing of a place is the first experience. Similar, if we want to get information about the planet where God lives, we have to hear. We cannot immediately make an experiment and go there. That is not possible. But we have so many descriptions of the supreme planet in the Vedic literature. For instance, the Brahma Samahati states, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, fulfilling all desires in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of wish fulfilling trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Laxmis or gopis. There are also other detailed descriptions given, specifically in the Brahma Samahati. Those who are trying to realize the absolute truth are categorized according to the aspect of the absolute truth upon which they concentrate. Those who concentrate on Brahman or the impersonalists are called the Brahmavedis. Generally, those who are trying to realize the absolute truth, first of all realizing the Brahmajati. Those who concentrate on the Supersoul, the localized form of the Lord in the heart, called the Paramatma, are known as the Paramatma Vedas. The Supreme Lord, by his plenary portions, is sitting in everyone's heart, and by meditation and concentration, one can perceive this form. Not only is he within everyone's heart, but he is situated also within every atom of the creation. This Paramatma realization is the second stage. The third and the last stage, I gotta stop adding words in there. The third and last stage, oh my knee, is the realization of Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because there are three main stages of realization. The Supreme Absolute Truth is not attained until one birth, not attained in one birth. If one is fortunate, he can achieve the ultimate in 1 second. Okay, but gradually, gradually it takes many years and many births to realize what God is. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who knows this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. Excuse me. You guys got a frog there. The Vedanta Sutras also confirm that the absolute truth is he from whom everything is born. If we truly believe that Krishna is the origin of everything, and if we worship him, our whole account is closed in 1 second. Isn't that good? That's so good. But if one doesn't believe and says, oh, I want to see what God is, he has to go by stages, by realizing the impersonal Brahman, the effulgence, and then the Paramatma, the localized feature, before finally coming to the last stage of realizing, oh, there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It should be understood, however, that this process takes more time when one, through many years of research, come to realize the absolute truth. Excuse me. He concludes, Vasudeva Shravam Ite. Vasudeva is all that is. Vasudeva is the name for Krishna, and it means he who lives everywhere. Vasudeva. Realizing that Vasudeva is the root of everything, he surrenders. The surrendering process is the ultimate goal. Either one does it immediately or after many births of research work. In either case, surrender must be there by realizing that God is great and I am subordinate. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for being with me. Until next time, take care of yourself. Have a great weekend. And we don't have that many pages to go. I am going to keep reading. Well, we have very few. 3 pages, 2, 4, 6. Um, I will be starting another book. I hope you come back. I'll try to, we'll just go through them, you know, and that's it. And maybe more people come and just listen. And if not, I'll just do this because I enjoy doing this and sharing. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.